Let's start the lesson quickly. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. What do you remember from last time? What do you have to remember that you say when you start learning a lesson? Okay.
وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ.
وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. Very good. We made the Quran easy to remember. So you pray Allah makes it easy for us to remember. Alright, let's start today, okay? We're going to have, our lessons, we're going to try to keep them 10 minutes or less, so that we get a lot out of them, we learn a lot, and we don't forget. And your job is going to be that you learn, or you review what we learned every day, before you come to the next class. Okay? So I'm kind of gonna expect you to know what I already talked about before, so we won't be reviewing it in the next lesson, we'll just kind of keep on going. And if you need to review, you can watch the recording and review, or you can ask me in person and review. Okay? So, today's lesson is basically going to be, the title of the lesson, even though you don't have to write this down yet, I'm going to write it down for you, is there are 3 kinds of words in Arabic. Let me just tell you what that means first, okay? There are 3 kinds of words in Arabic. When you open up the Quran and you start reciting, it doesn't matter what surah. You're reciting A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, so on and so forth, right? So you're reciting any page from the Quran, any surah from the Quran, the ones you've memorized or the ones you haven't memorized, okay? You're just reading. Well, all of language is made up of letters, right? Every word is made up of a few letters. Letters come together and make what? Words. Words come together and make what?
Sentences.
Sentences. Good. Sentences come together and make what?
Paragraphs.
Paragraphs. Excellent. Okay. Paragraphs come together and make a book. Stories, books, everything else, right? So the smallest thing is letters. Obviously, I'm not here to teach you letters because you already know them. So we're going to take the next step. The next step after words is when letters come together, what do they make? Well, you said it before. Words. So when you're reading a word in the Quran, for that matter, any word in Arabic. Later on, inshallah, one day, when we advance enough, we're not just going to read Quran, we're going to read other stuff too. And we'll learn to speak in Arabic too one day, eventually, right? But before we get there, whenever you read a word in the Quran, it has to belong to one of 3 families. You could think of it like all words have a family, okay? And in all of Arabic, there are only 3 giant families. There are 3 kinds of words. That's what I mean. Okay? Each of those families has a name. So in these 10 minutes, I have to give you those names, one of those 3 names, and I have to tell you what each of those names mean. Each of those categories mean. Okay? So for example, even though I haven't given you the terms yet, let's just say it's category A, category B, category C. Like family A, family B, and family C. Whenever you're reading something from Arabic, each word is either a member of family A or B or C. And the next word also A, B, or C. The next one also A, B, or C. Your first job as a student of Arabic is to know what are those 3 families, and then when you look at an Arabic word, well, which family does it belong to? Is a family made up of one member or lots of members?
Lots of members.
Lots of members. So each family is going to have lots of members. Here are the names of the 3 families of words in Arabic, meaning the 3 kinds of words, the 3 categories that you're going to find. Can you read those 3 words for me?
Ismun.
Ismun.
Fi'lun. Harfun.
Harfun. Very good. Ismun, fi'lun, harfun. Ism, fi'l, harf. Say that out loud for me.
Ism, fi'l, harf.
Good. Ism, fi'l, harf. One more time.
Ism, fi'l, harf.
Excellent. Okay. Now I'm going to just say these definitions to you.
Okay.
You don't just know their name, you know something about them too, okay? By the end of these few minutes. So, the first thing I want to tell you, I will start with harf. Harf is the last one over here. Okay? We'll start with this one. Here's the definition of harf. You have to remember it forever and ever and ever. Alright? Harf is a word that makes no sense. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Harf is a word that makes no sense. Unless another word comes after it.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, by itself, a harf makes no sense. Now let me give you a silly example in English, not in Arabic yet, but let me give you an example in English so you just have at least some idea, okay? By the way, from now on when I ask you what's a harf, you're going to say a word that makes no sense unless?
With another word.
Unless another word comes after it. Don't just say with it, say after it. So once again, let's ask you, if I ask you what a harf is, what are you going to say?
I'm gonna say it's a word that makes no sense if there's no word after it.
Very good. Okay, that's a good way of saying it. Now, imagine I get off of the airport in a city, like let's say I go to Chicago, okay? I get off the airport, I don't know anybody there, I know I have a hotel I want to go to, so I get inside a cab, I get inside a taxi. The taxi driver looks at me and says, where do you want to go, buddy? And I look at him and I say, 2. And he looks at me again, and he says, where do you want to go? And I say, I told you already, 2. 2. He goes, no, you need to give me more information than 2. And I say, okay, at. Does at make sense by itself?
No.
In. How about in?
No.
Where do you want to go? In. Go ahead. Doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Okay, to the airport. Oh, you're already at the airport. To the hotel. I want to go in that city. I want to go at this place. Whatever, you know? You need something more. To by itself doesn't make sense, right? So to would be an example of a kind of harf. You know, I know these things have names in English too. Like in English class, they call this prepositions. But I don't care. Well, I'm not here to teach you English. I'm here to teach you what? Arabic. So the word I want to hear is harf. A word that makes no sense unless what? I forgot. I don't know. You have to remind me.
There's a word after it.
Unless there's a word after. Can you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. If I ask you for an English example of a harf, what would you give me? An English example of a harf, what would you? To. Anything else? The. Okay, that's a great harf. In. Of.
Out.
Out is kind of clear. Out wouldn't be. But the other ones are good. Okay, we'll stop here. Let's go to fi'l. Okay? Let's have a quick definition of fi'l. Fi'l is a word, also, like harf is a word.
Yes.
Fi'l is also a word that is either stuck in the past tense, or the present tense, or the, take a guess, future tense. Past tense, present tense, or future tense. In other words, if it has a tense, then it must be a fi'l. Okay? So, I give you a word like traveled. Traveled. They traveled. Right?
Yeah.
The word traveled, is that past, present, or future tense?
Traveled is past.
Very good. Traveled is past tense. If it has a tense, you go with what?
Fi'l.
You can't call it harf now. You have to call it a fi'l. What if I say, I'm writing? I am writing.
Present.
Present. So it has a tense then. The word writing has a tense. Therefore, it must be what kind of word?
Fi'l.
That must be a fi'l. Okay? In English, we like to call them verbs.
Yes.
Verbs are past tense, present tense, future tense, etc., right? But we're not going to use the word verb. We're just going to use the word what?
Fi'l.
Fi'l. So if I ask you what's a fi'l, what would you tell me?
A word that is either past tense, present tense, or future tense.
Excellent. It's a word that's either past tense, present tense, or
future
tense. Fantastic. Okay. What's harf again? Remind me quickly.
Harf is a word that makes no sense if there isn't a word after.
Excellent. So we got 2 definitions. We got 1 more to go. Okay? Ism is the longest definition. I'm going to erase the other 2 and everything else I have on the board. And I'll give you ism, okay? I keep doing that. Ism. Could be a... You read that for me?
Person.
What else?
Place.
What else?
Thing.
What else?
Idea. Adjective. Adverb. And more.
Ism is a lot of things. Okay? Well, it's a thing and even more. Okay. It's a place. I say Husna is a good student. Husna is a person or no?
Yes.
Most of the time. So that would be a person.
Person.
Okay. If I say this lamp is weird. This lamp is weird. Is lamp a thing?
Yeah.
So that would be ism. Okay? If I said, that's a beautiful house. What's beautiful?
Beautiful is an adjective.
Excellent. Alright, English student. English is an adjective. Adjectives would also be an ism. Okay? A person like Aba, Ustad Numan, Husna, Muslims, people.
Yeah.
Place like what? Give me an example of place.
House.
House. Other quick examples. Pop them out.
Museum.
Building, museum.
School. Playground.
That's it? That's all you got?
Bedroom, living room, couch.
Oh, you went inside the house. Okay, fine. Place. Thing. Quickly.
Thing.
Can't be in this
Lamp.
room. Can't be in this room.
Okay.
Oh.
Bed. I guess.
Okay, you can be in this room. Marker, lamp,
Marker,
board,
lamp,
TV,
board, books,
camera,
TV,
books. All of these are what? Things.
Things, yeah.
Ideas. Oh. What are ideas? Ideas are words that are you can't touch. Like,
Yeah.
for example, anger, happiness. For example, education, knowledge, right? Islam. These are things we know about, we talk about them, but we can't necessarily touch them. Like I could say, oh, that's a really nice anger you got there. You can't, because you can't touch it, right? So those kinds of words are called ideas, okay? In English grammar, we call them something else, infinitives, but who cares? We're just going to call them ideas for now. I'll teach you more about them when the time comes. So can you give me some examples of ideas quickly?
Islam. Let's see, anger, happiness, love.
Those are the ones I give you. Can you think of one of your own?
Sadness.
Excellent. Okay, I don't give you sadness, I think. I don't know. It's on tape. Okay. Give me adjectives.
Adjective.
What's the definition of an adjective? Something that?
Describes a
Excellent.
thing.
Something that describes something. So?
Tall, short,
Excellent.
pretty, ugly.
Excellent.
Short. No, I just said short. Fat. Skinny.
Skinny. Okay.
Strong, weak.
Weak. Good, good, good. Boring, exciting, long,
Yeah.
right? Etc. All of those are adjectives. Excellent.
Okay.
Adverb. Adverbs may be something you don't know yet. Most of the time in English, adverbs are words that have ly at the end.
Okay.
Not all the time, but most of the time. So I'll give you one, you give me another. Okay? Quickly.
Slowly.
Happily.
Sadly.
Angrily.
Grumpily.
Grumpily? Okay. Good enough. Those are adverbs, okay? Adverbs are basically ly words in English.
Okay.
So far I haven't given you Arabic, but we need to understand what an ism is, right?
Okay, yeah.
An ism could be all of these things.
Yeah.
And it could even be what?
More.
More stuff that we'll learn later.
Okay.
Okay? Once again, I'm going to say this one time, you try to repeat it after me. Person, place, thing, idea. Say it.
Person, place, thing, idea.
Adjective, adverb, and more.
Adjective, adverb, and more.
Person, place, thing, idea.
Person, place, thing, idea.
Adjective, adverb, and more.
Adjective, adverb, and more.
Okay, we're almost out of time, or maybe we're already out of time, but let's see. What's a harf?
Harf is a word that makes no sense if there isn't a word after it.
Excellent job. What's a fi'l?
Fi'l is a word that has a tense, like fasted or...
Okay, excellent. Fi'l is a word that has a tense. Ooh, if you can remember the definition of ism,
Okay,
I would
let's
be
see.
amazed.
Ism is a person,
Person,
place, thing,
thing,
idea, adjective, adverb, and more.
You're almost done. You need to give me an example of each of those things. Person. Person.
Person, me.
Place.
House.
Thing.
Book.
Idea.
Islam.
Adjective.
Pretty.
Adverb.
Slowly.
And well, I won't ask you for more because you don't know more yet. Excellent job. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim. Wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikr al-Hakim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Master the Arabic language with the Arabic Teacher app, available now in the Google Play Store. Click the link below.